Hi, my name is Indy. I'm a digital artist known as Students by Indy, and I have been sharing my art online for the past 4 years. So my main goal when I first started was to simply share my art. It was about 2 or 3 years ago when I started to share my art in the form of TikToks and Instagram Reel, going from static content to short form content. And that's because all of these social media platforms were shifting from static images and posts to more video content. I felt like if I didn't shift with the times, I wouldn't have been able to keep up with everyone else and thus leading them into my brand and my store. So since then, I've gotten into a routine of how I film and edit my videos for both short and long form. So today I'm going to go through my process of how I make videos for social media. So without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off with the difference in processes for both long form and short form content. Starting off with the latter of short form content, which is mainly social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram. And it's exactly how it sounds. It is short. It gets from point A to point B. It's quick and to the point. I typically try to have videos such as pack my order with me or any video that kind of highlights my products in a quick and digestible way. Whereas on YouTube or longer form content, I typically have videos like how-tos, what I learned from XYZ, or any processing videos. So depending on what type of content and where it's intended to go, I have different processes that I go through, which I'll also go through throughout the video. Starting off with how do I prepare to film, because no one is winging a video, or at least I can't. I need like an actual plan before filming. With every YouTube video, TikTok, Instagram Reel, I start off with a concept. Like I said before, it falls into different categories depending on what type of content I'm looking for. So after I nail down the concept, I have a script or an outline that I like to prepare as well. For both type of contents, I like to kind of jot down key points and important things that I want to highlight throughout the video. So I will say on YouTube, I do like to keep my notes in bullet point form, and while filming, I kind of just talk through those bullet point forms rather than reading word for word. And I feel like this works best for me because I feel like it's the most natural sounding and it sounds more conversational rather than feeling robotic if I were to read word for word. Plus, with YouTube videos that are like 10-15 minutes long, it's kind of time consuming to have to script word for word what you're going to say. But I would say when I first started YouTube, I did have a script for script type of video because I just needed to know what to say. I feel like when you're starting off YouTube, it's already awkward enough having to talk to a camera, so you don't need that extra pressure and anxiety over what to say. So having a script word for word when you first start out was definitely beneficial. And then with short form content, I definitely had a script, especially if I had any voiceovers. And the reason for this is because short form content usually has a very limited amount of time for you to talk through the video. I think it's usually about a minute on Instagram and a little bit longer on TikTok, but nonetheless, most of these short form contents are about a minute. So you want to get all your info in under a minute. So for me, I have a very hard time watching my video and trying to voice record while the video is going. I feel like I always panic and then I stumble my words. So it's very imperative for me to have like an actual script that I could just read off of. So next thing that I try to plan for is the shots that I want to be shooting in my videos. And this mostly goes for short form content. I try to think about all the B-rolls and the different angles that I want to shoot that could better tell the story of that video. Because then you're going to be just staring at one thing or just my face talking the whole time. Because I feel like it's more engaging and compelling to have a video that has multiple different shots or has movement. So I try my best to kind of prepare these shots beforehand so that it can be most engaging for my viewers. Okay, next up, the equipment that I use to film. So I feel like anyone who has a phone with a camera can produce content nowadays. So I personally use my iPhone 14 Pro to shoot all my videos. It's super easy and intuitive to use rather than having to buy a super expensive camera that's also kind of hard to use. So once you have your concept and the script and all your shots prepared, you're ready to just point and shoot with your phone. I also have this tripod that is super easy to use. It is super lightweight. I think I got it from Amazon. And you just put your phone here, you can adjust it and everything, turn it, have a overhead shot of some sort, and you can extend it pretty easily. You just kind of pull it out and then like lift the leg up, which is easy. If you have seen a traditional tripod, you know how annoying it is to extend all the legs and click every section. So this is definitely a much more intuitive tripod. It's also easy to carry around because it's kind of small and you can like, I think, take this apart. I think the only thing that I don't love about this tripod is you can't like extend this part out a little bit for better aerial views. But so far it has worked well for me for every shot that I need. It's just that if I wanted to do an overhead shot of me drawing or something, then it would be a little bit harder to shoot with this tripod. The next thing that I have is a mic that is super easy to just apply to your voiceovers or any video that you may have. You just have to clip it into your phone and then just speak to your mic. It's already connected. And you can clip it on so that you don't even have to hold it. It is definitely one thing that I'm glad I invested in because it makes such a world of a difference to have very clear and crisp audio, and I sometimes feel like my camera's a little far, so it's nice to have a mic to pick up your audio or your voice. Okay, so next is when to film. I feel like the answer is always natural lighting is best, but there are times when you'll probably need like a ring light of some sort or a light box to film some maybe B-roll videos, because not everyone has the time to film during the day when it's natural lighting. Sometimes you gotta do it after work or before work when the light is not always the best. Like sometimes after work it's nice because it's like golden hour time and your videos are just more like crisp and more clear. Because of the good lighting. I feel like sometimes if you're just using your lamp or something, it just doesn't produce the same quality. So try for natural lighting if you can. Okay, next up is where to edit. So I feel like it's a very popular app, but I use Capcut for everything. It's so easy to use and it's free, and we all love free things when it comes to editing because there are some softwares that just require hundreds of dollars that is not necessary because it kind of does the same thing. So one thing that I hated about editing videos, whether it's long form or short form, is having to hear your voice over and over again. And I will say it is something that you will get over because I remember when I first started, it was such a cringy experience. I just hated my voice. But like, again, over time, you just kind of get used to your own voice and you kind of dissociate yourself with it. Okay, so now I'm going to go through real time how I edit my videos. So I open CapCut and then I select all the videos that I want to use. So I took these videos in horizontal mode, so gotta change it to a ratio that fits for TikTok. So I think this is it. So you just have to rotate everything. Once you have everything formatted the way that you want, you can pinch it or zoom out. So if you zoom out, you can really zone in on a single piece of the clip to edit. That I like to do is do a rough cut, which is kind of just trimming the video so that it fits a certain length. Sometimes I have my videos at 15 seconds, sometimes a little bit closer to a minute, depending on the type of video that I have. So if it's something that's very trendy and if it's to a certain song, I can edit it to that length. So I like to just kind of trim the parts that I don't necessarily need to see it, like this empty part. So just so you at the end of the day want to make sure that it is very quick and engaging, unless you're telling a story. Like this part, like no one needs to see my hand like that. So I'll probably cut it right here. You could split it, and then honestly, I'm just gonna get rid of that whole part until like I actually put it in the bag, and like I'm struggling with this thing. So let me cut that out actually. So I'll just probably start there and then clip it there. From this to me peeling it off. Yeah, I'm just gonna cut it there as well. I like to split it when like my hand's out of the way, and like see that I like pause before I actually pick it up. I think I'm just gonna start with me picking it up, and then there's like a blurry section, so I'm just gonna stop it there and then maybe just show it more clear for a few seconds. And then so once I have everything in a rough cut, I go back and rewatch everything to see if there's anything extra that I want to cut out, and then I start text to it and I put it in the front usually of like what my video is about, the title of course. So once I have the video edited, I like to go on Instagram or TikTok to play around with the audio, and based off of the audio that fits well with the video, I sometimes like to have the clips kind of like mimic the beat of the song. So when the beat drops, the next clip will play, and so on and so forth, so that it is more engaging and more compelling, and it really tells the full story with both the editing and the audio. So that is it with this video. I hope you learned a little bit about how I edit videos on both YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram Reel. Let me know how you edit your videos and any tips and tricks that help you. But until next time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel.